Hi guys, in this lesson we're really now going to combine everything you learned, and this is the type of question that you can expect in an exam, because if they give you one question you normally get one proper question of finance in an exam. If they give you one question they want to cover as much as possible. So I'm not going to read through all of this. You can pause and you can read through what we're going to do in this lesson. And this slide I shouldn't even say anything about anymore because we've done many of the same slide. It stays the same all the time. And there's your formula. It's exactly the same like the previous lesson. It's just to remind you again. So when you do this, you pause and you read through it again so that it can, the more you read it, the more it will instill it in your brain. And then we're going to start with an example. Just quickly to go back, remember the big difference between simple interest, all on one line, straight line, or compound depreciation or interest, doesn't matter. Then you put the exponent on the top. It's a little bit more complicated. Now you'll see if we do these examples, that is absolutely proper real life questions, things that's going to happen to you in the future when you're done with school. And if you can work these things out all on your own, and then you go to a bank to negotiate with them, you will be well off. So let's read. The Rainbow Nation Primary School buys a bus for 1.2 million. So presently they buy the bus now, which will have to be replaced in 5 years' time. Now this is a real common question. You can really, even if you take the same one and redo it a few times, one today, one tomorrow again, the same problem, just to get the method in your mind, you'll see they're all basically the same. This whole lesson you will see. Okay, the bus value depreciates. Let's circle that. Depreciates at 15%, that is my I, on a reducing balance. So immediately I'm going to write compound interest there. Reducing balance means you take last year's amount and then you reduce, and you take last year's amount and then you reduce with the interest rate. The expected average rate of inflation, now it's inflation, over the next 5 years is 5%. So you can see it's lots of stuff in one problem. And then there's another one of a parent that donates 75,000 rand to the school. So let's just do that as well. So this is donate. This is the beginning amount for a new bus at the end of the second year. Now, let's just see. I think previously we read that is for 3 years. Where did we read that? Over the next 5 years. We didn't even write that down. You see, you have to read every single word. 5 years is your N. Now, these parents donate for a new bus at the end of the second year. So if they donate at the end of the second year, but the whole scenario goes on for 5 years, do you agree with me? They're actually donating for 3 years. So I can actually write here, N is equal to 3. Let's just go back and see why I'm doing that. This whole thing is by the end of 5 years. They need to replace this bus, which is a normal thing, especially for a school bus. So at the end of 5 years, then they work out the inflation, what is going to be at the end of 5 years. So it's two different things. They need to know this vehicle, what it's going to be worth at the end of 5 years by the reducing depreciates there formula. And then we're going to use the inflation formula. Remember, inflation means you're going to pay more and more and more over the next 5 years to see what a new car is going to, or a new bus is going to cost at the end of those 5 years. And then they say now there's also parents that's doing a little investment, but they only start at the end of the second year. So to get to the end of the 5 years, they'll only donate, they only have it in the bank for 3 years. The school invests this donation at 12%, so there is your I. So maybe this one is the easiest, 1, 2, 3, because it's a little bit separate, so you can clearly see this is my investment. How much do they need to raise to be able to buy a new bus after 5 years? So now they need to take into consideration what is the exchange value of this bus after 5 years. They need to know what a new bus is going to cost after 5 years. And they need to take this donation that the parents made, which is an investment, and they need to say, but I've got this money, so I don't need to borrow this money. So let's just do it step by step. Let's just see where we've got space. Let's first see the depreciation. So I'm going to just write it here. This is in white. So I try to summarize it all. Different colors. We're busy with the depreciation now. Immediately I write down compound. Be very, very, very sure that you circle it, that you're sure it's compound. They said reducing method. That means compound. So I'm going to write down my formula. A is equal to P 1 minus I to the power of N. Now I'm going to start filling in. 1.250. 1 minus the interest is 0.15 to the power of 5. I'm going to click that on our calculator. So if we click that, make sure lots of zeros, 4 zeros. Make very sure that you don't press 1 too little less or 1 too much. Bracket 1 minus 0.15, close your bracket, to the power of, is that x with the little boxy on top, to the power of 5 equals, and it gives me 554,631 rand and 64 cents. Now I'm rounding it off to 64 cents because it's the normal amount of it's the normal way that we round off rand and cent to 2 decimals. There are a few other 06 at the end, and if banks are doing this, they use 4 digits to do their calculations. But for our normal real life purposes, you want to work out, we're just going to do it with my normal way of writing rand and cent, 2 decimals at the back. So remember now, this is your depreciated value. After 5 years, your bus will only be worth 554,000 rand. Good. The next one was the inflation. What is inflation again? Inflation is every year we pay more and more and more. So you agree with me? That needs to have a plus in. Only when it's depreciation, you've got a minus in your formula. So it needs to have a plus in. So let's just see. I'm going to do this part first. 1 plus I. Now I must just decide, must I put the N next to the I or on top? Inflation is always on the previous year's end value. So it's always accumulated. So it's always compound. So there I put my bracket and I put the N on top. So I'm going to start filling in. It's the same vehicle, 1.250, 1.2 million, 1 plus my inflation rate is 0.05 to the power of 5. Be very, very careful again. 5% is not 0.5. It's 0.05. So I slot, and all I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly go back and I'm just going to change the formula that I've got here on my calculator because I've got everything here. The 1.2 million, I've got 1 minus, so I just change it to a plus, and my interest rate is now different. It's 0.05 to the power of 5, and I press the equal sign, and that should be 1,595,351 rand and 95 cents. This is what the cost, let's do it like that. It's what the new vehicle is going to cost. 1.5 million. It was 1.2 million. So it should cost more because it's in 5 years' time. So that is what the new vehicle is going to cost. But remember, the pink stuff is what the parents donated. So they invested some money. So I'm going to now do, let's call it 1, 2, and 3. So I'm now going to do A is equal to P 1 plus I. Must I put the N inside or on the top? Let's quickly check. They told me compound interest. Compound interest means you must put the I there. But remember now, be very careful. All the others were for 5 years because I want to know what's going to happen at the end of 5 years because then the bus is written off. I need to buy a new bus. I need to replace the new bus. It's actually not written off, but I need to replace the bus. So the parents only started at the end of the 2nd year. So there are 3 years left. That is why we've got a 3 there on the top. So I'm going to start filling in. What did they now invest? 75,000 rand. The interest rate was 0.12 to the power of 3. And if you click that on your calculator, 75,000 bracket 1 plus 0.12, close your bracket, to the power of 3. It equals 105,369 Rand. Now it says comma 6. Can we ever just say comma 6 if it's Rand and cent? No, they're going to deduct marks. So you need to put the 0 there because Rand and cent consist of the two figures for the cent. So this is now your investment. So this is money that you will have at the end of 5 years. You have this money at the end of the 5 years. You have the value of your vehicle at the end of 5 years, the old vehicle that you can use as a trade-in, and there is your new cost. So they asked, let's just go to the question, how much do they need to raise to be able to buy a new bus in 5 years? So now I need to take into consideration what is the money I will have at the end of 5 years, and what is the money that the new bus is going to cost at the end of 5 years. So I need to take number 1 and number 3, and I need to add it. And if you add that, let's quickly do that. I already have the 105 on my calculator, plus the 554,631,64. And that gives me, let's just see if I did it correctly, that gives me 660,001,24. 24. I'm saying 4 and I'm writing 5. Can you see that little gap between the zeros in the 660? It's just so that you don't get confused. So 660,000. So this is what you have at the end of 5 years. You see, if you make little summaries, if you just did 3 sums here and you didn't write little notes next to them, you will not know what is the money you have, what is the depreciated value, what is the inflation value. You will not know which one is which. So as you do a word problem, make yourself a little summary. So I wrote down there, this was your depreciation. This was your investment. This is the new cost for a new bus. I should have written new bus. So now I'm going to take the new bus, which is 1,595,351,95. This is what I need to pay after 5 years. I'm going to subtract the money that I have, 660,000,24. And if you do that on your calculator, you get the amount of, let's quickly, actually I've written it here. We get the amount of 935,350,76. Now, are you short of that or do you have that extra? The amount that you need to have there is much bigger than the amount here that you actually got. So do you agree with me? You are short with 935,000. But again, it's not too bad because it costs 1.5 million. You already got some value for your old bus and you got this investment that the parents made, so you should not have any problem. Good. Now, I'm going to take off all of this because this whole answer is done properly, and I want you, without checking anything, I want you to redo it all on your own. Please remember to write down what you're busy with. It helps you. It helps the teacher who marks your work. And then afterwards, you can go and check there. There's the whole thing over 2 pages. And there's the amount of money that you are short in the end. Good. A very, very, very good exam question. Now, there's another one like this. This is very long, but that is why they only ask one question in the exam. They cover, you see now, they cover 3 different things. Inflation, depreciation, and the investment that the parents made. So that is the best way of asking finance. One question only, and it covers everything. Okay, Mr. Gumede donates 15 computers to his local community center. The computers are valued at, let's just get my pen, at 135,000 Rand. So all the computers is valued. So this is the present value, you agree? They're buying them, Mr. Gumede is buying them now, presently, but it depreciates at 11%. So that is your I on a reducing balance. So you agree with me? Compound interest. Very important, because if they didn't say reducing balance, they should have said simple, and then it would be simple interest formula. Good. and it will need to be replaced in 3 years' time. So there's your N. Again, the inflation rate is expected. There's the inflation rate. Is expected to be that percentage. It's your inflation rate. Now, what did we say about inflation? It's always inflation, and population growth is always compound. So I'm going to write the CI there for the next 4 years. So there's the N there. We must just make very sure what we want in the end. So but let's read the whole thing. The community centre plans to have a huge fete at the end of the year. They expected to raise 50,000. So this is now again the investment. So this is the beginning. And 12% per annum, that's your interest, compound. So it's compound interest. So this whole scenario is all over the show, compound interest. Will the community centre have enough funds to replace the computers? If not, how much will they be short? Okay, let's just see when do they want to replace these computers. I've summarized it here. The depreciation is after 3 years. So automatically they want to replace it after 3 years because they also worked out the inflation rate after 3 years. But now why is there an N is equal to 2? Yeah, at the investment. Because only at the end of the first year, the parents decided, or whoever decided, that they're going to have a fete and they're going to make an investment and they're going to use that money in the end to buy a new or to buy new computers. Good. So again, we have 3 different problems. So the first one is, maybe we should do this. Oh, there isn't a white. I thought we can do a white. Let's just keep it like that. Compound interest is always 1 plus O minus I, because it's depreciation, to the power of N. Depreciation. Be very careful. I nearly wrote it plus now, but we're now busy with the depreciated value. So I'm going to fill in everything I have. 135,000. 1 minus 0.11 to the power of 3. And if you click that on your calculator, I'm just going to save some time. It gives you 95170,82. You know by now, but this is the depreciated value after 3 years. So that is what your computers would be worth after 3 years. But now the parents, so let's just do that in the color that we have there. The parents does the second. Oh, why is it doing that now? Let's just get it back. Oh, I see why. Let's just do it in a different color. And I'll take off that because we can't write that fat. We'll just do it in blue. The second one, I wonder if you can see in blue. No, not good. Let's just rather do it in orange then. Second one is the investment. It's the same formula, P. Because it's an investment, it's 1 plus I. I must just make sure, is it compound or not? Let's circle that. Remember that one was also compound. That's why we put the N at the end. So we're going to put the value. Remember, they only had 50,000 Rand to put in the bank. So they have 50,000 Rand. 1 plus 0.12 to the power of 2. Be very careful. 2. They did not make the investment immediately when they bought these computers. They waited for a year and then they only had the fate and then they got the money and they invested it in the bank. And that gives us 62,720 Rand. So this is our investment. Now, why am I doing these 2 problems together? Because they are the 2 that tells me what money I will have at the end of these 3 years. And then they said the inflation, the new bus. Let's see if there's a different color that I can use on this one. Maybe I'll just go back to the green just to have it a little bit different. This one was the inflation. Where's my inflation? The new one. Let's just write new. But I'm going to write inflation because this is what the new computers is going to cost. Remember what inflation does? It adds the amount, the percentage on the previous year that stuff is going to be more expensive. So I know it's going to be A is equal to P. It's going to be a plus formula. And I know it's going to be compound because inflation is always compound, so to the power of n. Can you see in this green stuff, I did not write down on the top if it's compound or simple, because inflation is always compound. I'm going to start filling in the values. 135,000. 1 plus the inflation is 0.065, and the amount is 3. The amount of years. Good. And if I do that, I get the amount of 163,073 Rand and 20 cents. This is for the new computers. Good. What did they ask? Let's quickly go to the question. They said, will the community centre have enough funds to replace the computers? Or if not, how much will they be short? So let's just check. This is what I have. I can trade that in. This was the investment that we made. So you agree with me, if I take number 1 and I add it to number 2, it should give me the amount of money that I do have. So let's do that quickly. 95,170,82. Just one thing again, in South Africa we use commas, not points. So if you see points anywhere else, you must just change that to a comma, because we get problems from all over the world, but in our country we use a comma. Plus 62720, I'm just double checking myself, equals. So the amount of money that we have is 157,890,82. This is the amount of money that I have at the end of the 3 years. And you know why it is now? It's my computers that I'm going to trade in. So I know what the value is after 3 years. So I've got that money. I've got the investment that the people made, that they put the money in the bank. So I can add those two amounts. And the new computers cost. So therefore, the 163,073 Rand and 20 cents minus this 157,890,82 gives me, gives me 5,182 Rand and 38 cents. You do that just on your calculator. So am I short? This amount is higher as that amount. So I am short. I don't have extra. I am short of that amount. And that is what they asked. So you see, it's a lot of stuff that I'm doing. We've done 3 different formulae. One was depreciation, the first green one, number 1. Second one was plus, because that was an investment, so I got more money. And the last one was what the new stuff is going to cost me at the end of the 3 years. So that's also a plus formula. And because it's inflation, it always has a compound interest. And that is all. That is really the most difficult ones you can get. I'm taking off everything so that you can highlight your own stuff. In exams, you can't use different colors. So I suggest that you make proper headings next to each sum that you do, and make sure that you know what you're busy with. Because if there's just 3 sums on your page, you're not going to remember which one is which one is the money you have, which one is the money you're going to owe in the end. So there are the answers written out neatly. And then as usual, we give you 1 or 2 pages of exercises. You just pause on each one and you do them on a clean sheet of paper. And if you can do these ones, you really are fine for the exam, because they are the most difficult ones. And they are typically the type of question that we ask in the exam. I'm sure you're going to be fine and you're going to do very well in your finance. See you for the next lesson next time.